What's up everyone, my name is Yellow and we are back here again. You know, I'm still new on this little YouTube thing, so bear with me. I've been watching the last two videos and I hate the way my face looks. I'm always explaining stuff like I'm always confused. Like, I'm gonna try to fix that. As you can see, you know, like I'm still learning, still getting started on all this, so we're still, or at least me, I'm trying to get things tightened up because I'm the only one doing this, but you know, bear with me. So this video today is the video on why I moved to LA. You know, a lot of people, when they wanted to get into filmmaking, you know, the first thought is like LA, that's the Mecca, it's Hollywood, that's where everything happens. And for the most part, yeah, it's true, like everything is here. Like, you also got to remember, everyone across the world is moving to LA. So, you know, like, that's the reason why LA is so populated. This is the hub. Everyone wants to move here for fashion, music, film, you name it, it's all there. With me, I grew up in San Diego, so I'm only a 2-hour trip away. It would have made sense for me to at least venture out, you get what I'm saying? Back when I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker was probably back in high school. So when I graduated, I attended the local state university. The classes that they taught you didn't really teach me nothing. Like, taught me like the theory of film and stuff like that, but it didn't teach me nothing hands-on, so I was kind of stumped, and I just decided to finally pick up a camera after making friends with some of the people in the major. I picked up a camera and just started shooting. I didn't know what to shoot, but you know, like at the time I was a club promoter, so I had a lot of links to music people, so I decided, you know what, let's do music video stuff and let's do a lot of music video work. What I did was I just reached out to whoever I could just to shoot work, and I was getting paid for it too, so you know, that was a plus. And I was just trying to get, you know, my hands wet, even though I didn't know how to work my camera. I didn't know what to do. What I did know is that I wanted to go to LA, and that might be like the place where I would be at to continue my career. But you know, I just didn't know when. It got to the point where I was one of the top go-to guys in the city to do music video. That time I hit the peak, the plateau, and just stopped there, you get what I'm saying? So the next step was, where do I go now? Do I keep doing this? You know, like, yeah, I'm here in the city, but you know, it's like, I'm not really going anywhere further than that. Then I realized, like, I'm still sitting here working a 9 to 5, going to school, and you know, like, I haven't really gone anywhere and I haven't really learned much more than what I've just been playing around and learning. So one of these days I was at my job, you know, I was the floor supervisor, so I was by myself pretty much that day. I get a phone call on my phone. Usually I don't pick up odd numbers because I'm like, it's a bill collector. You know, being young, you owed a lot of bills, so I decided to pick up the phone. And then when I picked up, I heard, "Hey, what up, cuz?" And I'm like, huh? And then I talked again, I just heard, "Hey, what up, cuz? It's Nip." And I was like, Nip? Who's Nip? And then he said it was Nipsey. I was like, Nipsey Hussle? And he said, yeah. I didn't believe it for a good moment. And the reason why he got my number, because back then, a few months back, you know, he was looking for a video person and my name kept getting thrown in the mix, and he shouted me out, but you know, nothing went from there, and that was months prior. So I was just like, you know what, I mean, it is what it is. So then when he called and actually asked me to come out, it took me 20 minutes to convince me that it was him, and this was back in 2010. So when he called and asked me to do that video, I'm like, yeah, I got you. And then at that point, I'm like, oh shit. Like, what the f am I gonna do? What I did was, you know, like, I didn't have like a crew or nothing like that. Like, at the time I had a Canon 7D, which was a pretty good camera, and I didn't even know how to like use it correctly. I didn't know nothing about f-stops and ISOs, all that. Like, I didn't understand it, so I just kind of winged it, whatever I was just playing around with at the time. So the day that we left, I called two of my boys, my boy Rocket, my boy DJ King Smash, shout outs to them. They came along with me, you know, just basically acted as my crew. They knew nothing about film or nothing. I just told them, just come, act like you're doing something, you hold my lenses and then you hold a reflector board, and we're gonna do something. And then when we went out there, we met with Nip at his shop over on Slauson and Crenshaw. At the time, his marathon store was called Slauson Ave Tees. And I met Black Sam that day for the first time, his older brother. When we got there, he said, yo, like, I messed up. I haven't got my hair braided or nothing like that. Let's start in the morning. Let's go shoot next morning, and then we'll get it going. Meet me at the Roosevelt Hotel, which is on Hollywood Boulevard. The next morning, we woke up, met him at the Roosevelt Hotel. He was there bright and early, braids fresh, everything. And then we just spent the whole day shooting in LA. He just took us on the road. Everyone in LA, he was driving his silver Mercedes. So one of the security guards inside the Roosevelt was cool with Nip and knew who he was. So he let us sneak upstairs to one of the floors, and we got some gorilla shots and stuff like that. And then we went downstairs, got some in the hallway, and just kind of dipped out. Then we trucked out to PCH. When he told me PCH, I didn't know what PCH meant. I didn't know what it meant for Pacific Coast Highway. So we went out there. I rented a car mount. We put my camera on the car mount. We had him doing shots just driving down the coastline. I told him to slow down, but this motherfucker did not listen, so he would still speed up and just laugh like, hey, I gotta make it look right. So then afterwards, we went back to his shop, shot some shots in there at his shop, and then we did the final scene on the 6th Street Bridge, which doesn't exist anymore. They tore it down, but I think they're rebuilding a new one right now. But we shot some shots out there, just blocked the little street and just shot the final shots, and then we just called it a day from then on. And then that was it. But you know, the whole time when he took me out there, you know, he didn't really do much to just kind of give me that feel and experience that like the vibe here is where everything's at. Like, you got to come out here. Like, he did say, yeah, cuz you got to come out here too. And also the reason why I'm wearing the shirt was because he, as you can see, it's kind of been faded. I haven't worn this in a while, but he gave me this shirt that same day out of his shop. This was before he had Crenshaw tags or anything. This was printed on a Shaka shirt, so you know, it barely fits me because I was skinny back then. So now the video that we shot was the first track off the Marathon album called Love. It never came out because he wanted to shoot more stuff, but it was just so hard to coordinate everything with him because, you know, he was all over the place just trying to get things done and stuff like that. But you know, I respect it. And even at that, if you notice, like, the Marathon really didn't have a whole lot of visuals that came out. If I'm not mistaken, I think only one video came out of that whole project. But you know what, you might see some snippets of the video that might come out on his 10-year anniversary visual album that the estate is putting together for Nipsey. So be on the lookout. You might see some of my work, might not, but you know what, it's been submitted, so we'll see. By him taking me around LA and just kind of giving me the feel and vibe of LA and how much everyone works out here, how everyone's doing the same thing you are, it gave me that spark, like, you know what, I need to get out here and make my way out here to LA. So I decided to transfer to a film school, actually a little bit further outside of LA, but closer than San Diego. When I also came out to LA, Nip actually put me under his wing for a little moment. You know, things didn't go as planned because he was still figuring things out, and me, I was just trying to figure out where my place is in this industry. So we kind of went our ways, but we were still cool. Like, regardless of what he needed, I always got him. And you know, he'd always hit me up every now and then. You know, rest in peace, Snip. But you know what, he was the reason why I ended up moving to LA a lot sooner than I should have. I kind of wish I did move sooner, but you know what, things happen for a reason. But now that I'm here in LA, you know, I got well connected with people. I was actually really scared to move to LA because, you know, when you're in San Diego, I was the guy at the top of the podium, and now I'm like at the bottom of the podium. I had to work my way up, and what I did was I tapped in with local LA. You'll hear a lot of people saying, oh, LA is fake, blah, 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 blah. LA. The thing about those people is they hang out with people in Hollywood, and a lot of those people from Hollywood aren't from the real LA. If you want to really mess with the real people in LA, you got to go south of the 10, north of the 101 possibly, but you got to tap in with the locals. Don't tap in with the out-of-towners. You got to remember, LA is a city full of transplants, including me. I'm a transplant, quote unquote, but the thing is, I enjoy the real LA, the real culture of LA, and the real people that grew up here and actually built something around here. So I tapped in with the local people, and every single local person I've tapped into, they vouch for me constantly. And I wouldn't be here today without a lot of the local LA people that helped me out and looked out for me, including Nipsey. He's vouched for me plenty of times, and even when like we haven't seen each other in a minute, he'll still vouch for me regardless when people ask him about me, like always A1. And that's why I always will have respect for him. I will always keep his legacy alive, even if it's through me or me having to speak good on his name, because he's never done nothing negative to me. And his whole family, everything, like if they ever needed my help, I'm always there for them. But you know, back to LA, you know, when you move to LA, make sure you know that there's two different sides of LA. There's the local cultural LA, and then there's that fake Hollywood, which is, you know, all your social media people, your people that came here to find their dream, and then they want to act like they're better than everybody else. Like, nah, bro, like you gotta chill on that, because like once you build a bad name out here, you'll get cut quick. And then also, you know, like LA people, they don't get hyped up when they see a celebrity, because they see motherfuckers all the time. But LA, it is a great place to figure it out, but when you come out here, you can't come out with the mindset that you'll find a job easily. Like, you really gotta grind. You gotta do 2 or 3 things just to be able to survive through here. And if you're able to do that, you're able to survive through a lot of places. But you know, as far as I know, like me being in LA, like I've actually enjoyed my time so far here, and it's been great. If you guys have different ideas about LA, No, you guys need to experience it for yourself. I mean, it might work for you, might not. Like, another city might work for you. Atlanta's also a booming film area. New Orleans is starting to come up in film. You know, there's places outside of New York. Even if you go to another country, I heard Canada and Australia is starting to buzz on the film side. So it just depends on where you go. But, you know, just make sure you decide where you go, experience it, and feel and make sure that that's where you're gonna be. Because, like, for me, I know LA is pretty much gonna be my home for the rest of my life. So with that being said, that's the reason why I came to LA. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, comment, all that other stuff. Subscribe, comment. I don't know all the terms yet, but you know what I'm saying. Follow my social media. I'm gonna put in my description, and I'm out. Peace.